B, I need your help. Yesterday, my boss sent me to deposit the store's money in the bank 5 minutes before they closed. I didn't make it on time, so I kept it under my bed to do it today, but now he's asking me to stay late and the bank closes early. Can't you just tell him that? They won't suspect you if you still have the money. My boss is already suspicious of me. He knows about the probation. If he knows I took it home, he'll think I wanted to take it. Please, Abby. I would have to run, but I still had time before my show, and I knew how much trouble he could get into if they suspected him of a crime, so I said yes. I never ran so fast in my life. When I got to Kyle's house, no one was home and the doors and windows were locked. Time was ticking. I knew the banks closed at 3. That only gave me 20 minutes. Then I saw the attic window was open. So I started climbing. Oh no. Come on, Abigail. Use those strong dancing legs of yours. Finally, I got in. I went to his room, grabbed the envelope from under the bed, and dashed back out. Everything went blank for a moment. Then the world came back into focus, and I saw that I had run into a boy who was staring at the envelope. It got ripped, and he could see the money inside. I grabbed it before he had a chance to do anything and kept running. I saw the bank. Finally, it was right there. I had made it with 2 minutes to spare.
Miss Abigail.
Oh my, it's really you. I couldn't believe it. I had only seen him on TV before. I was totally starstruck for a second.
I'm coming to your show tonight. I can't wait to see you. We have an opening for our next show. We need someone just your age. As long as you can dance, of course.
Thank you. I'm so sorry. I can't talk right now. I have to run. I'll explain later. I'm sorry. I was in too much of a rush to think about the fact that I had just very rudely turned my back on the guy who could give me my dream life. Oh no, what was I gonna do? When in doubt, just tell the truth. I could just say it was my fault. What a jerk! I ran after him, but he was too fast on the scooter. By the time I turned the corner, he was gone. Oh no, now Kyle was really in trouble. I couldn't move. I didn't know what to do. How could I explain this? No one would believe me. At the store, I told Kyle everything. When he saw his boss, he told me to hide behind the rack of clothes. But I can explain.
He won't believe you, and you'll be involved.
He pulled the rack in front of me as his boss rushed up to him.
The bank says they didn't get the money, Kyle. Where is it? I'm sorry. It was my responsibility. The money was stolen. Thief! I knew this would happen. They told me you were on parole, that I wanted to give you a chance. Now, I'm calling the police. I'm sorry, Abigail. I'll have to miss your show.
He rushed to the motorcycle. I couldn't believe it. He was gonna run?
I know it seems crazy, but without the money or any evidence, they'll think I took it. There's no option for me now.
But I was totally lost, confused, and so upset with myself. There had to be a way to fix it, but I couldn't even think about that now because it was time for the biggest performance of my life. The producer was right there in the front row, watching, and he didn't look too happy. I had been so rude to him. All I could do now was rely on my dancing skills to get me through, except Steve was on the spotlight, and I was still out of breath from running and so upset that Kyle was in trouble with the police. When my solo came, I was so upset I fell on stage and cried in front of everyone. I ran off, and the show was canceled for the night. As I was walking home, totally crushed, I decided to only focus on what I could control. The show was over, but I could still help Kyle. I would tell his boss it was me who had stolen the money. Of course, I would get in trouble, but not as much as Kyle. This is where we began. The big mess I had made. He looked at me as he passed. I wanted to stop the police, but they were too fast. But I knew the park next to me would take me right to where they were going. If I could run across, I could catch them and stop the police to tell them it was me. Once again, I was running. Only this time, I didn't have my inhaler. I forgot I had left it in my dressing room when I ran out crying. As I cut through the park, I couldn't breathe. I saw Kyle's bike on the other side. He saw me too, but before I knew it, I was fainted on the muddy ground. When I woke up, I was in his arms. He had stopped to help and the police cars were rushing towards us. I was in the hospital for a day. My mom told me that Kyle was arrested, but I knew he would have to see the judge before they really made any decision. I asked her when it was, and she said today. I made her drive me to court as soon as the doctor said it was okay. I rushed inside. Stop! It was me. I lost the money. Kyle didn't do anything wrong, I promise. Even though the judge believed me, he still said we were to blame. And Kyle ran from the police, so if he was going to be released, we needed to pay back the money to the store. I started working at the theater, and Kyle also had to go back to his job. We both made no money because we had to give it all away and were too exhausted to even hang out. It was the perfect punishment for me since I could barely see him and had to watch other people perform while I cleaned and took people's tickets. Of course, anytime I did have a free moment, I danced.
Hey, Hero. You have a second?
He had come to surprise me at work. He took me to the auditorium where everything had been decorated for what looked like a big party. What's going on?
Well, I figured you have to pay the money back, but that doesn't mean it's gotta be a punishment. Why not have some fun? I talked to your boss, and we're throwing a fundraiser for us to get the rest of the money. And the best part? You're the star of the show.
This is amazing. Thank you so much.
Sorry I ruined your chances of going to Broadway.
It doesn't matter if I only dance here and not on a big stage. As long as I have you, I can dance anywhere. He held me in his light again. This time, I knew I wouldn't get lost in the dark.